Alright, so it is time for One Piece. And
One
this
Piece.
is chapter 782, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And once again, Aizen decided to help one of the mangaka troll us. We were like, oh yeah, there's nothing standing in our way. We're going to get a whole chapter of Luffy versus Doflamingo. Nope, you got 4 pages at best. We spent more time focusing on a puppet master relationship that basically swapped people that eventually ended up swapping roles.
Mm-hmm.
Because Luffy is doing fantastic in his opening bout against Doflamingo. Trebol decides to come in and, hold Luffy down. And then we find out through a flashback that Trebol and the other executives are the one who encouraged, that basically were the puppets that created Doflamingo.
Mm-hmm.
But over the years, that relationship flip-flopped, and now Doflamingo is the puppet master, and the executives are the puppets.
Yep.
And so that was kind of interesting to see how, and it was all because they saw Doflamingo use Conqueror's Hockey once, and they were obsessed. Like they basically are like, you have Conqueror's Hockey, you must be destined for greatness. We are going to worship you.
Yeah.
I mean, they freaking burned down a town, because Doflamingo tripped on the street there.
Yeah.
Like, that's straight up worship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even to the same degree, if not even to a higher degree of the Tenryubito.
Yeah.
Like, he is a Tenryubito, so I guess it's the same. Like, it's the same thing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so, and then you have then you find out through a series of attacks between Luffy and Doflamingo that Trebol is officially been declared a paramecia.
Mm-hmm.
In the most weirdest way possible, I feel. Like, you think he's because before Luffy can't hit the glob, the mucus, whatever, and it doesn't, even though he has armor and Hakurei, he doesn't hurt him at all. And several times before you've seen Trebol get cut in half horizontally, yet he still came back together. But he gets cut vertically and he gets hit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't care what you say, but friggin' Law using a room to attack, to basically throw his severed arm at Trebol was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, that's why he didn't reattach it, because he knew he was going to need it.
That was it. That was sick.
I was like damn.
That was like some buggy shit right there.
Exactly. That was some buggy shit. And then, because of that one hit, all of his mucus just falls off, and you see he's looks like a shriveled old pervert man. Like,
yeah,
friggin', he looks like friggin' like an anime style, like Herbert from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Like, what? So you're telling me whenever he got cut horizontally, he would jump up in his mucus or something?
Yeah, I saw somebody somebody drew a picture of him like huddled up really tight in the upper half of his body. It was really weird. I don't know.
And then after that, he's like, you know what? Fuck it. If I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna take everyone with me, and decides to basically commit suicide and turn himself into a suicide bomber.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
which is not gonna work.
Well, here's the thing. Luffy and Doflamingo are obviously going to find some way to not get hurt a lot from the fact. Unless someone, meaning Sabo, comes in to save Law's dead. Just no. There's no, unless
Shambles.
there's no. Yeah, but what's left?
I'm sure there's plenty. Like, his room size is unbelievable.
Yeah, but remember, he used up so much of that stamina already. Like, he's like, that was the whole thing. He's been shot. He's been dragged around, beaten, shot, cut, like bleeding out. Like, come on, and been using his power so much that there's just no way he has enough stamina to use Shambles right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the room he used to attack Trebol wasn't that big because he didn't have enough energy to create a bigger one.
Because he didn't need it. All you needed was his arm to attack.
Yeah, but God knows how far away that was, though.
Not far.
Well, remember, he's moved since then. Because remember, he had to swap with Luffy in order to, attack Doflamingo. So, but at least, Doflamingo and Luffy definitely are. If they even got damage at all, it'll be minimal.
Oh yeah.
Law. We're not assuming. We can't assume. We already know that he's either definitely dead or someone saved him, because I don't believe that he was able to save himself this time. Because everybody thought that Sabo was going to come in and save. So I mean, then again, he can then once. I mean, you. I guess, like I said, you could. It's more likely that Law has survived because because this would still feel like doesn't feel like a death to me. No. Like, so then if that's the case and Law is able to save himself, this confirms two things. One, Trebol is definitely out.
Oh yeah.
Definitely out. And this would also then confirm that Sabo isn't going to fight Trebol. So then that begs the question, what is Sabo going to do? Is this possibly meaning that Sabo might have to hold somebody else off from the palace to prevent them from doing shit? Still one person left that, could screw everything up for the Straw Hat, for everyone at the end of this.
Yeah, that's true.
And can you guess who I'm thinking of?
Well, I could tell you one is Mr. Fujitora.
No.
Could screw up everything for anybody.
No, because remember, as he's already stated, he wants to eliminate the Seven Warlord system. And that the only reason why he was opposing the Straw Hats and all them at the current moment was because Doflamingo, he still had to follow the rules that Doflamingo is a warlord, and that no matter what he learned, he couldn't do jack shit. However, when Luffy takes him out, he'll be free for the taking.
No, I think like I said, I've been saying since the beginning, I think Fujitora is going to kill him, but he is the one person who could screw up anybody at this point on the island.
Yes, but you're forgetting about the other person.
What, Burgess?
Burgess, Jesus, Burgess.
Oh please, Sabo would wreck Burgess at this point.
Well,
he needs to get stronger if he wants to go up against Sabo.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, is that who other than Sabo could hold off Burgess if Burgess tries to go after Luffy and Doflamingo?
Could just be that Sabo's only purpose for going towards Luffy is to save Law, and then just watch and encourage Luffy as he goes on. Maybe step in one fight, and then Luffy's stay out of this.
If anything, no, because... Or then again, Oda could be having Sabo pull basically a Robin and, shows up to save Law from the blast and then protects Law from Doflamingo, so that way Luffy can concentrate on the fight, which is exactly what happened with Kyros and Diamante. The Kyros-Diamante fight.
Which is kind of what we want, right? We want Luffy...
Yeah, we want Luffy to be able to focus solely on Doflamingo and for Doflamingo not to do any dirty tricks and try and take out Law... sneakily.
Yeah.
So, I guess we could say the consensus is between the two of us is that that's the most likely theory the most reasonable, or the theory that makes most sense is that Sabo is going to show up and be revealed as the one as having protected Law,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's going to keep Law safe. Now, initially, he's probably going to say, "Oh, well, I'm going to take Law out of here," but Law's like, "No, I want to watch this go down,"
Yeah.
or something like that. Or he's going to say, "Oh, I'm too injured to move right now, so just protect me."
Yeah.
So I was just so, which honestly would be
No.
good, I guess, because then at least because. But then at the same time, we still don't know exactly where Koala was when she made that call to Sabo either.
Mm-hmm.
We assumed that she was near the palace and was seeing the fight between Luffy and Bellamy. However, with the whole thing that people are just now remembering that Burgess is still on the island, think that maybe she was near Burgess,
Hmm.
possibly.
Oh.
But based on the way Burgess, I'm pretty sure Burgess probably knows he's outmatched. So what could happen is we could see that because I could see Oda easily going back to say, oh, we see Sabo saved Law, and then we get another flashback to see what was Sabo doing, and oh, he goes to save Koala from Burgess, and then Burgess like, fuck this, man, I'm not gonna
It's
take you
like,
on.
no, no.
I'm
I
good. I'm
saw
good.
that dragon breath earlier. I'm out.
I'm out. I'm out. I saw your fight against Fujitora. I'm out. Burgess, the one guy who got to see the fight,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, nope, nope, and just like, see ya.
Yeah.
So, but we at least with I was disappointed that we didn't get to see a full-on chapter dedicated to the fight between Luffy versus Doflamingo, but we got Trebol out of the way.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Hopefully.
What I mean by for the most part is the fact that we know that he can easily drag out like half of the next chapter dedicated to what actually happened when he exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you see the explosion happen panel by panel as it spreads out, and you see something happen. You see what happens to how Doflamingo, Luffy, and Law escape or get protected, or how they block it, whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm.
Like how they handle the situation. Oda can easily find a way to make that last half a chapter,
Oh yeah.
and then spend the final half of the chapter finally getting on with the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like we say this every chapter. It's like, oh, we're finally getting to the Luffy versus Doflamingo fight. Nope. The next chapter is going to be, we're finally going to get there. Nope. The next chapter. Nope. The next chapter. I'm like, really? But with each chapter that he pushes back the fight, there's less and less shit that can interrupt
Yeah.
that can interrupt this fight, which is something he hasn't done before.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the other ones, other shit's going on.
Yeah.
You know. Well, like the closest thing that he's come to doing this, I would have to say, would probably be like some of the East Blue stuff. I think
Pretty much.
because that's what pretty much the East Blue was. Because when Luffy faced off against, pretty much started with Buggy, pretty much. Because the previous two villains didn't really have like notable henchmen.
Mm-hmm.
So like Buggy, by the time Luffy finally got to face Buggy, all of his henchmen were taken out, and there wasn't really anything else to worry about.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Kuro and all of them. So this is kind of going back to, I guess you could say, the roots of the series, which was taking care of everything else first, then show the main fight, Luffy's fight against the main villain, in
Mm-hmm.
its earnest.
Yeah. Yeah, I think overall, I thought this was a great chapter. I really liked the short exchange of fists and kicks. I really do like it. It looked
I
really
know. Oh my
cool.
god, I was so hyped, like, because he put that at the beginning of the it's like the beginning of the chapter. So so that's what makes the troll so good, because you're getting these pages of like, oh my god, just there's like no dialogue, just them fighting. You're like, and it's good fighting. You're like, oh yeah, and then it's like, nope. That's just like a taste. Like this whole arc has produced nothing but tastes of this fight.
Uh,
So
and the amount of times that Law has just fodderized Trebol is just, even with the one arm, he's still fodderizing him.
no, I wouldn't say fodderized them.
I mean, come on. The radio knife, I mean, he just like, I think he fell back and then radio knifed him, and then all the times he's attacked him, and then
Yeah, but
with
we
one arm,
assumed.
the Sturban, tacked, done.
Yeah, but we also assumed that with the radio knife, that he was damaging him because we thought he was a Logia,
Hmm.
and that he was having trouble reforming, and that was something to do with the Logia. No, that he was just having trouble fitting his legs back into his pants.
Yeah.
So, one important thing to note that was it? Did you hear about the SBS that came out?
No, I have not.
Well, gives you there's some couple interesting things, like we get some stats for the or physical stats of the three revolutionaries, like their height and age, and some other little things here and there. But one of the things that people are highlighting is that in it states that Sugar and Monet are sisters.
Really?
Yep. And that they were found they were given their powers by Doflamingo after they were found. Like, Doflamingo found them, took them in, and then gave them their powers.
Huh. Interesting.
Which I thought was pretty, a lot of people are, interesting. So.
I'll say. So yeah, I mean, great chapter.
But just a little, too trolly for my taste. I mean, if anything, that little just bit of the fight we saw at the beginning of this chapter is an indication this is going to be one hell of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, this whole arc has been giving us hints left and right that this is going to be one badass fight.
Yeah.
It's like appetizer, appetizer, appetizer. Time for the main course? Nope. Appetizer, 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 appetizer. Like,
dude, I'm fucking full already. Just give me the fucking main course.
It's like Oda's been giving us so many appetizers for this main course of a fight that even freaking Goku would get stuffed before getting to the main course.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking the Torikoverse would get fed completely. The entire everything on the entire planet would get fed with all these appetizers that he's been giving us. It's ridiculous. But the payoff is hopefully gonna justify this whole bit.
It has been said that there are chapters that can fill an entire world. One Piece chapters. This is the gourmet age.
Hey.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go watch Toriko. There you go.
Or read it.
Yeah. Either one.
So, anyway, I think that's just about it on One Piece. The only thing left to say is, when is Sanji coming back? When is Sanji coming back?
Mm-hmm.